joining us for ICONversations. The ICON program is designed to celebrate our company's top producers. These agents have gone far above capping status and are now earning back their paid company dollar with various stock grants, which are earned by reaching exceptional milestones. Today from Alberta, we have Garrett Zimmerman. From Michigan, we have Dylan Tanaka. From Florida, we have Quan Deep. From Indiana, we have Jeff Cavender. And from Georgia, we have Mike Price. Mike, take the mic.
Thank you so much, Brian. And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Price from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm actually in North Atlanta, Alpharetta. And I am a four-time icon. And it is an honor and a privilege to be on the stage with these other phenomenal business owners, these icons, and who have made incredible gains in their business and are all icons. So you're in for a treat today. A little bit about me, and then I'll introduce the rest of the group. I am a four-time icon, Atlanta, Georgia. Been in real estate 14 years full-time, EXP for 4 years. And my team, we do a little over 40 million a year, close to 100 units a year. And I am the lead listing agent and the owner of the team. And I have two agents that work buyers and listings. And we are a very nimble and quick team. We're very fortunate to be in this position, and it's been a great journey. And so without further ado, I want to introduce all of the great people on this stage that you get to meet. And one of the great things about being here with EXP is you get to learn from agents who are doing it right now at a high level. And everybody on this stage, everything they do is an open book, and happy to share anything with you. So let's start with Jeff Cavender. Jeff, good afternoon. How you doing, sir? Tell us a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from, and looking forward to working with you today. Thank you.
Can you hear me there, Mike? I switched to my AirPods to make sure.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, Jeff.
Okay. Yep. So Cavender, I'm here. I'm actually in Montana on break, and but I'm from Indiana. I run the 13 agents on the team. We're at 36 million year to date, but half of the team joined on probably halfway through the year. So we're projecting probably to be somewhere around 50 to 60 million if we don't continue to grow. Been Icon 2 years in a row. The 2 years I've been at EXP, been in real estate full time for 7 years, and we're looking to grow, looking to get pretty big, and love the EXP and everything they've offered us.
That's great, Jeff. Thanks so much, and congratulations on your success. And that's a lot of hard work on your end. So next up, we have Quan. Thank you, Quan Deep. Quan, how are you doing today? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, hi everyone. I am a solo agent. Actually, I don't have a team like other agents on here. I'm a solo agent from South Florida, Palm Beach County, Florida. I have been an agent for just under 10 years, and I have been with EXP for about just under 2 years. My volume / production, I haven't looked lately, but I would say for the past 12 months, I am around probably 12 to 14 million, and the units I would say hovering around 22 to 25. But I am very blessed and happy to be part of EXP, and looking forward to sharing with everyone, I guess, the structures and all the, I guess, how I run the business.
Well, thank you, Quan. And I was on a panel with Quan last week, and she's got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to be loving to hear from her in a little bit. Our next guest today is Dylan Tanaka. Dylan, thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Hey everybody, I have been licensed since 2009. I'm also a solo agent like Quan. I am out of Detroit, Michigan, so I have to do a lot more units to hit those kind of numbers. So I do between 40 and 50 units a year, probably around 9 to 10 million in production. And I've been with EXP almost 4 years. I hit my third time icon actually yesterday, so pretty pumped about that. I come from the world of real estate investing, and basically everyone I know told me there's no way I could have been an icon agent or a successful agent after being just an investor for many years. But I'm excited to be here. You guys, if you're seeing this behind me, I love EXP, big part of my life, and happy to pour into anyone any way I can help.
Dylan, thanks so much. And we're going to dive into your success in a little bit. Congratulations on your third icon. That's a strong thing to do. Congrats, buddy. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Garrett Zimmerman. Garrett, thanks for showing up today and being here with us. We really appreciate you. And tell us a little bit about you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, and thanks for having me. Super excited to be here. I've been a real estate agent for 2 years now. And my wife, Chelsea, and I, we are Team Zimmerman Real Estate. So we're the husband and wife model. And this year, in our second year as Team Zimmerman, we have put through 54 deals and close to $20 million in total volume. So we just keep going and growing. Year one was 35 deals, and we want to just keep pushing the limit. So happy to be here and happy to learn from everyone else.
That's awesome. So anybody out there that just heard what that man said, him and his wife in 2 years have gone from basically nothing to 30-something units to 54 units to 20 million. Well done, Garrett. We're looking forward to speaking with you today. I really appreciate you sharing that. So everybody, one of the great things about, as I was saying earlier, about being in this room today, you are talking with, 5 top producers who are not only doing really, really well in their field, but everybody here is open to sharing. Everybody's got the abundance mindset, and that's why we're all here at EXP. And like Dylan said, a lot of people say, "Hey, you can't do it. There's no way you can do it." You can do it. Everybody here can do it. Everybody in this room, if you're not an icon, you can be an icon. There's so much information, training, everything, you name it, at this company. You just have to get out there and look for it and engage. And once you do, and you just get involved and you just start doing all the things in the masterminds and just being consistent, you can easily find your way to icon status. So we're going to go over some things. I'm going to ask all of these super strong business owners today some questions. Hope you're taking notes. Here we go. So the first question, and I love this one, and I'll start with you, Jeff. Name one thing that you can attribute your success to becoming an icon agent. What's one thing that you can contribute your success to when becoming an icon agent?
For me, it would be, I know a lot of people preach on trying not to let real estate take over your life and, set boundaries and stuff like that. I feel like for everybody that says that, they had 1 to 2 years of just grinding. And I had worked a third job where I'm at, started real estate, no experience or anything like that, and would do 8 hours at night and then another 8 hours in real estate. I was not sleeping sometimes. Like, I was just grinding super hard. And a work ethic like that to begin with is what does allow you, I think, to start off kind of faster. Most people have a slow part-time real estate incentive. I did not. I went full tilt to it and was doing 40 transactions by my second year in the business. And I think that a lot of people just talk about trying to not let real estate take over your life. And I think you do probably need a good year, 2 years of grinding to build that portfolio in the sphere of influence and repeat business. So I think that's what helped me really launch my career into being able to do 80, 100 units a year.
That's great. And you're exactly right, my friend. Grinding is the way to go. And folks, if you're out there in this, you're here on this call because obviously you're looking to grow, and you're going to have to dig in and follow a schedule and really grind, make those calls, set those appointments. You're going to fail a lot too, and that's a big part of it is failing and learning from those mistakes. And you want to fail fast and fail often. But Garrett, thanks for sharing that. Congrats on your success, bud. That's really cool. All right, so next guest up, Quan. Same question. Name one thing that you can attribute to your success to becoming an ICON agent.
Yes. My success, I feel like largely stems from not being a secret agent, because I would, in the beginning, I think for the past 10 years or since I got my license, I would tell everyone that I see or know that, that I'm involved with real estate or that I'm a real estate agent. And if some technician comes to my house and they'll be doing my AC, or a plumber comes, I would just start talking and start trying to connect with the person. And a lot of times, a lot of my technicians that are coming, that serve as my house, ended up being my clients. So, and also when I'm out having dinner, I would talk to, any waiter or waitresses that are serving us as well. So that turns into clients and referral in the past as well. So I think that's largely contribute to my success over the years.
Well, you nailed it right there. Don't be a secret agent. You got to get out. Everybody you meet is a potential client. If not now, maybe later down the road. But you always want to be ABC, always be closing, always be meeting people and connecting. So thank you, Quan, for that. Next up, Dylan, same question. Name one thing that you can attribute to your success becoming an ICON agent.
I would probably have to say belief. When a lot of people get started in this business, and like I said, I was on the investing side first for a lot of years. Even though I was licensed, I didn't really use my license. So I even had preconceived notions about what we had to do as realtors, right? Because I pretty much represented myself and just other investors I worked with. And I would watch some of the top producers in my area, and I've always looked at real estate signs since I was a little kid, and I never understood why somebody's name was on that building. And as I got older and interested in real estate, I said, one day I want to have my name on those signs on buildings or in front of homes. But I think a lot of us, when we get started, some of that seems so far away. And Michael talked about, you talked about grinding. And it's something that you just have to do in the beginning. And once you have some success, all of a sudden your confidence starts to get built. And then once you're totally confident, now when you actually have those conversations with potential buyers or sellers, you're going to be able to set a lot of those rules. And they're going to feel that confidence with you and see that you're sharing and you're telling and not just selling. And I think that's just a big thing is believing in yourself and in this company that we have the backing, and the people behind us to help us if we don't know the answer. And not everyone that you talk to thinks that you're the biggest real estate genius in the world. So it's okay not to know that answer, but you've got a lot of support to help you get them the answer that they need.
That's great, Dylan. Thanks so much. And you're absolutely right. Your belief system drives everything about your personal life and your business life. And if you want to have a big life, you got to think about it. You got to be able to think about it first, and then you can put it into action, and then it comes to fruition. So thanks for that, Dylan. I appreciate that. Garrett, same question for you. Tell us, name one thing that you can attribute to your success to becoming an ICON agent.
Absolutely. Such a great question. And it's so good that I narrowed it down to two. One is showing up. And when you're showing up, you're learning. And I think, the people that have taken the time today to show up and learn, it's going to pay off in spades. And that was something from the beginning. I didn't come into this industry with background in real estate. Yeah, I had bought and sold homes personally. But it was new territory. And although I had spent 20 years in corporate, I needed to lean in and show up, and I needed to learn. And I learned through making mistakes, but it was the best and most important thing to get me where I am now. And so I would just encourage anyone at any stage in their career, really, you got to show up. Nobody's going to do this work for you. You got to take the initiative, show up, be present, be engaged, be intentional, and then lean into learning, because it's going to pay off.
That's great, Garrett. Thanks so much. And, everything you said there, I'm over here taking notes like everybody else. Showing up is 90% of the deal, folks. Just showing up and being intentional, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're going to make a mistake in real estate. Everybody here on the stage has made big mistakes. I'm one of them. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just get out there and go after it every day. So we're going to pivot to another question. Leads. Everybody likes leads. Everybody wants leads. How do they get more of them? And so I'm going to start with Jeff again. So Jeff, the question for you is, leads are a big part of our business. How are you tracking your leads and keeping in contact with them? Hey, Jeff, can you hear us? Jeff may be having an audio issue. We'll pivot. We'll go to Quan. We'll come back to Jeff. Quan, same question. Leads are a big part of our business. How are you tracking your leads, and how are you keeping in contact with them?
Yes, Mike. I use Follow Up Boss. I think it's a very robust CRM and system. And if you don't have the money to invest in a CRM, I actually used to do Google Sheet. I just put all my clients in a Google Sheet, and I color coordinate them and put them in different groupings. But right now, I currently use Follow Up Boss, and I also use my own phone as a reminder of the very hot and ready to go clients and prospect. But as I was saying, I think Google Sheet is a great start if you don't have the means or the money investment to pay for a CRM at this point.
That's great, Quan. Yeah, CRM is key. If you don't have a CRM, start with a legal pad and then move up to a spreadsheet, and then get to a CRM. But you'll get there. Thanks, Quan, for that. Dylan, same question, sir. Leads are a big part of our business. How are you tracking your leads, and how are you keeping in contact with them?
Sure. So I've used a ton of different CRMs throughout my career, both on the investing and agent side. And over the last almost year, I started using Lofty when we got our big discount here at EXP. I was with Follow Up Boss for a couple of years. I feel like keeping the two sides of my business separate, the investing side and the actual retail agent side, I want it completely separate. So Lofty allows me to do that. And obviously, if anybody looks into it in Workplace, there's all kinds of automation, and it's a little bit complicated. A lot of CRMs now because some of the things that we have to go through with qualifications and that kind of stuff. But once you get it set up, it's so important to stay in front of people. I've been in this business one way or the other over 20 years now, which I hate being able to say that, but sometimes it's okay. And the people I knew 20 years ago who only knew me as an investor, I'm still friends with a lot of those folks, guys and gals, right? So now that they know that I'm pretty serious and just fully known as a retail agent / broker, there's no reason for me to stay in touch with those people because they've known me a long time and I have a pretty decent name locally. So I don't think there's anything more important, whether you're new or old, like you're launching or relaunching, you've got to focus in on that SOI, and you have to be honest and like gracious and good when you do it, and not just cheesy and sending out newsletters, but just be a little thoughtful and put some thought behind it. No one sends handwritten notes anymore. I mean, a regular text just for a coffee here or there, it just doesn't come in very often. Post-COVID world, it's a little bit different getting in front of people versus how it used to be, and as generations change. So I think it's absolutely, if you're going to be in this business, if you don't have some percentage of your time and effort, energy, and money focused on your SOI, you're going to lose out on hundreds of thousands over your career.
Amen to that, my friend. SOI is our lead source on our team as well. And building an SOI, you want to do it any way you can. Talk to as many people as you can, and everybody becomes SOI. But I'm hearing the same thing over and over. CRM, and what kind of CRM is the best CRM? The one you're going to use on a regular basis. So keep that in mind, folks. Okay, we're going to move on to our next question. Thanks for that, Dylan. We're going to move on to Garrett.
Hey, Mike, I got my volume working now.
Jeff, is that you, Jeff?
Yeah, it's Jeff.
Hey, we're going, all right, Jeff, perfect. Here's the question. Leads are a big part of our business. How are you tracking your leads, and how are you keeping in contact with them?
Yeah. So I wanted to real quick speak on what Quan was talking about with the secret agent thing. I just do something kind of, the agents on my team think it's silly, but when we go out to lunches and stuff like that, and your waitress or waiter says like, is there anything else I can get you guys or anything else you need? I always just drop the line like, well, do you know anybody wanting to buy or sell real estate? And then the team kind of like chuckles a little bit, and I'm like, we all track our numbers. You know that the average commission for us is about $7,000, yet you think it's weird or like awkward to ask somebody for business. Like, this is what you do. And so I do that everywhere. When you do a phone call with somebody and they end the phone call with, is there anything else that we could do for you? I always do it with asking for business. And so but back to the lead side of things, what I do is we're a big Zillow team. And so we spend a lot on Zillow, and we track that through KV Core. We also do Zillow is a CRM, Luxury Presence is a CRM. So we it's so important to have friends and family in your CRM, getting your newsletter, getting all the campaigns that the other people are, because we spread.
Hey, Jeff, you there, buddy? All right, Jeff's cutting out a little bit. We're gonna pivot. We're gonna go. Jeff, hang tight. We'll come back to you, bud. Let's move over to Garrett. Hey, Garrett, same question for you. Leads are a big part of our business. How are you tracking your leads, and how are you keeping up with them? Keeping in contact with them?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little bit of old school with the new school, but we have a massive whiteboard in our home office where we literally track people from the initial contact stage to where are we in the buying process or the selling process. And then when they transfer from just being a lead to somebody that we're in contract with, then they go on our home run board where we can then track their process from, date of offer, what are the conditions, when are those dates and deadlines, and then when is close day. So we update that. I'm a visual guy, so I like to see it. So literally the board is like 6 feet by 6 feet. It's massive, but it has to be a big part of our life because this is a big part of what we do. So that's our kind of our old school method. But then we actually leverage and really lean into the KV Core program that's available to every EXP agent. And I've been leveraging that for, email messages. I'm also very active on LinkedIn with direct voice messages. So not just a text message or, liking or commenting on somebody's post, but getting into their DMs with an audio message. And I've had people that have responded back and be like, I didn't even know you could leave an audio message. This is so cool to hear your voice. So it's showing up differently and being memorable. And I think Dylan kind of touched on it. Like you got to get yourself in front of your SOI's kind of visibility and look for reasons to contact them. It doesn't have to be a newsletter. We've never emailed a monthly newsletter because personally, I don't like them. So why would I do something that I don't even like or that I instantly delete? But sending a random message to just say hi, checking in, or if they've got a favorite sports team and that sport team wins a big game, you send them a quick note to just say, hey, saw that. Any excuse you can use to get in front of your leads, get in front of them.
That's great. Yes, absolutely. So I'm hearing a lot of people talking about SOI, sphere of influence. That is exactly right. However you do that it's just important that you do it. Whether you call, text, coffees, birthdays. On my team, we have we touch our SOI of over 1,000 people, probably about 1,200 people, past clients. We touch them over 50 times a year with birthdays, anniversaries, home bot, fellow, all kinds of different things that we do. We do events, we call them. So you want to just make sure that you're staying in touch with everybody, because these are the people that are going to be your advocates and your walking billboards out in the community. And when you find a few people that are going to be, super advocates for you, it's going to be great. You're going to realize that they're going to refer you a lot of business, and you got to stay in touch with those people. It's like any relationship. You have to stay relevant. You have to stay top of mind. And you want to make sure you know when their kids' birthdays are. You know when their kids start school, what school they're going to, all the things. So SOI, number one. That sounds great. Thank you so much for that, Garrett. Appreciate that insight. Next question. We're gonna go up to Jeff. Jeff, are you is your microphone working now?
It should be all good. I'm sorry, this condo in Montana does not get the best signal.
Okay, so let's go with the next question. So, we've all faced challenges in the business. When you hit a wall, where do you turn to get back on track? So all of us have come into challenges. We hit walls. What have you done to get back on track when you hit a wall, Jeff?
Yeah. So for me, I lean heavily into like mentors and coaching and training. It can be very difficult when you're by yourself and then you hit a wall, or even like on a team and hit a wall if you don't feel comfortable turning to somebody and talking about somebody. But when you have a coach that you're paying, monthly or whatever, this person's hired to sit there and tell you what you're doing wrong or what you should be doing. It's somebody to bounce off of. So if you're not actively using coaching, or even EXP breeds this culture where realtors are friends. And so, you can find somebody in workplace, in real estate in here that you can be reaching out to, but real estate in your own community, what I've experienced is very cutthroat. So it's not like a lot of agents are just going out, hanging out, talking. You're not going to call a Remax agent when you're going through struggles. But within EXP, I think they've bred that culture to where you can go up your upline. You can go just into workplace, into any of these groups, and find people that really will breathe into you, or coaching. I think everybody should have a coach. So
100%. Everybody should have a coach. And if you don't have a coach, like Jeff was just saying, you can lean into all the great things we have here at EXP, all kinds of training. If you are not familiar with workplace and how to maneuver into workplace university, EXP University, you need to do that today. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of classes and trainings at your disposal done by ICON agents, just like everybody on the stage. They're telling you real time, real action, what's going on and how you can implement anything, open houses, listings, buyers, you name it. So having a coach and dialing in and plugging in is crucial. So thanks so much, Jeff. Appreciate that. Quan, same question to you. We've all faced challenges in the business. When you hit a wall, where do you turn and how do you get back on track?
Yes, I think in my from my experiences, like from my past, when I have any sort of problems or roadblocks I can't figure out, on top of aside from turning to maybe my upline or mentor, I also would lean into agents that I know, or my industry peers, like people, or even Facebook, a realtor Facebook group. I would post a question, or like I'm sure people in EXP, they have uplines that have their own Facebook group. So I would post the questions there, and usually agents are very helpful, and I usually find answers within real estate, peers that are a real estate agents, instead of if I have nowhere to turn, I guess.
So I love it. Seeking out the people in your circle, seeking out people at EXP. There's so many people here that want to help you, and you just got to reach out to somebody. Always somebody that's done what you're looking to do or what you're failing at or what wall you're hitting. And that's one of the things I love about this company is you can go to somebody that's done what you did 3 years ago. Go, here's how I got through that. So Quan, thanks for that information. We appreciate that. Going to move on to Dylan. So Dylan, same question. We're all facing challenges in the business. When you hit a wall, Dylan, where do you turn and how do you get back on track?
Yeah, I have to echo what everyone else has said. Mentors are super important, but I also think instead of just looking for a mentor, I think you should learn how to mentor yourself. That doesn't mean you have to mentor other agents. I've been a high school mentor for over a decade with a nonprofit. When I mentor my kids, they're all high school seniors, so they're not really kids, but I call them my kids, right? When I mentor those guys, it helps me kind of look inside myself when I'm having my own troubles. I have my own group of people that I go to who aren't necessarily real estate agents, depending on what that trouble is. But when it comes just to business, guys and girls who are above us, they love to help the people who are below them, just like we do. The thing I love to do most in business is to reach down and help others who are actually reaching up, right? They have to be trying. So as long as you're trying, I try to go to people who are 2, 3, 4, 5 levels above me because they've been through the struggles that I'm going through. And most of the time, not to be like cliche, but it's always like stinking thinking. It's what's going on in between your ears. And most of this stuff, as long as it's not life-threatening, if it's business, we can figure it out. We can get over it. And, one thing about EXP, sometimes you hear about like uplines and downlines and all that stuff. That stuff doesn't matter. There are agents in this company who will help you. You guys have been to EXP events with Jay Kinder, and he's up there. He gives out a cell phone number, and he's like, if you guys need help with something, call me. So you don't see that other places. And I've been around in this business a long time and a lot of other businesses. And it always blows my mind how much people are willing to stop, talk to you, give you help, connect you to the right person from those top people in this company all the way down. So I really think you have to not be afraid and reach out and look for that help. But then again, also understand what it takes when people help you so that you can give back and you understand how to receive it properly also.
Dylan, you said I could talk all day about what you just said. That was awesome. Thank you. I'm going to pull one thing out of there that you said. You is in addition to reaching up to people that are above you, 4, 5, 6 levels above you, you're also reaching out and reaching to people that are below you doing less production and reaching out to those folks and helping them. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, if you are of an abundance mindset and you think like that, that's one of the reasons that Dylan is doing so well in his business and his personal life, because he has that mindset. And that's key. Belief system and mindset, thinking about helping others. If you could say one thing to one person on one particular day that could change the course of their business life. So if you have a success, share it with others. Share it. Scream it from the rooftops. Get in your Facebook groups. Get in your peer group, whoever, and just let everybody know what you're doing and see if you can help somebody. That was great, Dylan. Thanks so much for saying that. All right, Garrett, same question to you, sir. We've all facing challenges in the business, have faced challenges. When you hit a wall, Garrett, where do you turn and how do you get back on track?
Yeah, so it's similar to what's been shared. I have a business coach who lean into on a regular basis when it's good and when it's bad. Some of us wait until we're in those tough spots and we're having a crappy week or a crappy day, and then we reach out. I think it's important to stay in touch and celebrate successes throughout, because when I get into those positions where I've hit a wall, in addition to talking it out with a business coach or other agents, I also remind myself of the success stories and the people's lives who I've been able to be a part of. And sometimes just reflecting back and remembering, a really challenging deal that you put through, or a really amazing possession day where, the family was all in their emotions. Sometimes you just need to take yourself back there and remember why it is you do what you do. And reflection And remembering those moments can sometimes be the fuel to just get you off the couch, out the door, to the event, whatever it might be. Because when you remind yourself of what you've done and the impact you've had, it just fuels the fire. So for me, it's a combination of reaching out, but then also reflecting in and reminding myself why I do this, what's been really damn good, and then going out and looking to replicate it.
Amen to that too. And I'm going to mirror what everybody is just saying. And thanks, Garrett, for that. That was great. Just when you hit a wall, you're going to hit walls. Reach out to those around you. Share what you're doing. Everybody here is going to help you. Any group you're in, anything with EXP anybody's going to be able to help you. And when you run into something, something happens, and you do something challenging, just like he just said, make sure that you're telling somebody about it. Hey, here's what I went through, and let me know if you can need some help. So I love it. That's great. And that's one of the things I do. When I hit a wall, I get back on track. I've got a coach, at the level we're at, which I, as a team owner, and I know all these icons on stage are the same way. I never feel like we're doing enough. I feel like we're still not struggling, but we still have more we can do. We can still be better. And, even at this level, we do 100 units a year. I still have a coach. I hire a coach, and I meet with him every Wednesday at 8:45, and he sees my blind spots, and I'm paying someone to look at my blind spots and tell me, what I'm doing and what I'm missing. And the insight is so valuable. And you can get the same thing if you can't get a coach right now, or say you're just not ready for it. You don't think you're ready for a coach. Find out, go talk to some of these people that are doing a lot of business, like guys like Jay Kinder. I've been at, just like you said, I've been at so many events. Jay give his cell phone out on the stage, and I know Jay, and he's in my upline. He's helped me with a lot of things. So just reach out, help folks, and we're all going to get through this together. So thanks everybody for that. So let's pivot. Let's do another question. Here's a good one for everybody. So in the beginning, we kind of started about getting started and grinding and what that looks like. So I'm going to go back to Jeff and start with him on this one. So Jeff, when you started in real estate, what were your goals, and have you reached those goals?
Yeah. So like I had said before, and I'm not sure if my mic had gotten cut off on that one. I don't think it did. I started off working third shift in a factory here, and go full to the factory. And so that kind of made the goal part really easy. I knew, like, I wanted to have my vehicles paid off. I wanted to have so many rental properties under my belt. I needed to replace the income I was making at that factory. And so I had those goals in mind of when I could quit the factory. And so then I just hustled on all of that, and I would do days without sleeping. I would just constantly be work. Luckily, my factory job was machines, and so I had downtime to where I'm then working on real estate while working another job. And I would read books on break. I would listen to podcasts to where the people around me say I was weird for listening to podcasts or audibles. And then once I was able to quit the factory and go full time into real estate, then they were saying, "You're so lucky," which we all know that saying's not true. They watched how hard I was working. But it was really easy for me to set goals because I knew I wanted out of the factory. So it might be a little harder for somebody that's just brand new into real estate and doesn't know anything. But for me, that's how I hustled in the beginning, was working multiple jobs, not sleeping, and buying rentals.
Well, you know what they say, Jeff, the harder you work, the luckier you get, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The more you practice, the luckier you get. So again, there's another story, folks, of just doing exactly what the man just said, is doing what it takes. You all have the ability to do this. It's right there in front of you. And everybody on the stage at the level we're at, every one of us started out with nothing in the real estate, started out brand new, just like some of you out there. Do what it takes. Late nights, early mornings. My coach told me a couple of years ago, I was complaining about not being able to get stuff done. He says, get up at 5 o'clock and start doing it. Sure enough, I got up at 5 o'clock, changed everything. So life is good. Thanks for that, Jeff. Quan, same thing with you. When you started in real estate, What were your goals, and have you reached those goals?
I think when I started in real estate, the original goal was just to close a home, right? I was very young and very naive, and I believe I was 23, 24 years old. And it's a moving goal in our industry. It's a moving objective that we have. So I think it was just closing one home at a time, and then you move to 5 homes, and then 10 homes, 20 homes, 50 homes, whatever that might be. But I've definitely reached most of the goals that I had for myself 10 years ago. But I think it's more on believing in yourself and really not giving up in yourself, and also in real estate itself. So I'm very lucky that that I got into it, and I'm very happy that I stay in it as well.
Well, there's one thing I know about you, Quan. You're very persistent and very consistent, and which is 2 of the biggest things you can be in real estate to be successful. So thank you for that. Appreciate you contributing there. Dylan, how about you, sir? When you started in real estate, what were your goals, and have you reached those goals?
So I definitely used to write my goals out even early on. And when I look back at some of those first binders, like 3-ring binders I made when I was just in sales as a kid, I wanted to do a few things, and I've blown way past them, but I'll never reach the goals that I really want to get to, because I have too much to share with other people. And I've got a 9-year-old, almost 10-year-old daughter. Her nickname's Elena Danger. She may be listening to this because she's home from school sick today. But I need to impart my wisdom into her on how to do things in business, and maybe in real estate also. But to me, my personal view is, and the way that I live is, like, if you're on this earth, then you should definitely be doing as much as possible and always getting better and making those around you better. And that doesn't mean doing more deals or making more money necessarily, but it's for me, living the way that, whatever that way for you is, that should be, and that you're happy. And if you want to work and grind 80 hours a week, or I know guys who work literally 5 or 10 hours a week and they're multimillionaires now because they've built their life that way. But for me, I'm always setting new targets, and the goals are almost always out of reach, because I think that's the only way to keep me motivated personally.
Dylan, you just said, you just nailed it. It sounded like you were talking to me. You're never really, if you're really setting goals the right way, you're just, each one's the stepping stone to the next. You're never really there's no finish line. It's always going to be something bigger, better, more time with the family, more profit, whatever it is. So write your goals down, everybody, and just make sure you're doing something every day to get towards that goal. Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate that. Garrett, same thing for you. When you started in real estate, what were your goals? Have you reached those goals?
So my goals really focused around what my answer was to the first question in terms of showing up. So I literally created a spreadsheet, and I had goals for how many open houses I was going to host per month, how many showings I wanted to be out on, how many listing appointments I wanted to present, how many meetings, coffees, appointments, lunches I wanted to have with people in my SOI, as well as how many networking events I would attend on a monthly basis. And then, of course, I also had social media content goals in terms of how often I would show up with either static posts, video posts, Q&As, all the things. So I really broke it down. My background is in data analysts. Before I was a real estate agent, I was a business insight analyst for a financial institution. So I kind of geek out over numbers. And for me, I set those goals into a spreadsheet, and then I went out, and every day I woke up and I put energy and effort to show up, get into those houses. I obviously didn't have a ton of listings when I first started, so I would lean on other agents at the brokerage and ask if I could host at their listings, just to get my feet out into the homes, my face into people's faces, and have those conversations that are so important when you're just starting out, because you do just need to kind of learn through failure, learn through doing. So for me, my goals were all focused around how many times and where I could show up and what I could do. Now those goals still are the same. I've just tweaked them and changed them a little bit. So, what I'm doing might look a little bit different, but in terms of the frequency and the consistency with which I show up, that doesn't change, because it is about consistency. It's about showing up. And as you show up more, you get more familiar with what you're doing. And familiarity breeds expertise. Expertise breeds trust. And then trust, you get loyalty from the people you work with, and they become your advocates. So those would be kind of my key points when it comes to goals.
Wow. Thanks, Garrett. That was great. And I'm going to reiterate some of that. I mean, you've got to show up, number one, and then you've got to actually get after and doing it, and be the person that people are thinking about. Give everybody the best service. Give everybody all you have every day. Don't there's days we don't feel like coming to work, and that's fine. It's life. But come out here and just don't leave anything on the table. Like, always go all in and do the best you can. And setting goals is the one way to do it, because if you don't set your goals, where are you going? It's like a ship without a sail. You just don't know where you're heading. So set a goal and set how many open houses you want to do. How many people do you want to take to lunch this week from your SOI? How many coffees do you want to have? And just set a goal and execute. And I do the same thing as everybody here. We, in the beginning, I had a spreadsheet where I basically wrote the same thing down as everybody else. And how many people am I going to talk to today? How many contacts am I going to make? How many appointments am I going to set? How many listing presentations am I going to do this month? How many of my past clients am I going to do a drop by and pop something by their house and drop a bottle of wine or some candy or popcorn or something? And you just do that over and over and over and over again. And it's going to really work out for you in the end. So, all right, everybody, thank you for that. Let's go. Let's got another question. Here's a good one. As an ICON agent, do you follow a daily routine to stay on track? I know the answer to this, but as an ICON agent, do you follow a daily routine to stay on track? Quan, let's go. Excuse me, Jeff. Let's go back to you. What tell us about your daily routine?
Yeah, so I kind of got mine from, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Chevron Coaching or Austin Chevron, but he's the coach that I use, and so he had a big team near me, and they had a model, and they actually run a run-rest cycle, so 3 weeks on, 1 week off for prospecting, and it would start at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. is prospecting, and then even within that, it was broken down, so like 8 to 8:30 was writing handwritten notes, 8:30 to 9 was follow-up calls, and then 9 to 10 was new business calls. And then the rest of the time was working on your business. So appointments then, and he tried to button everything up by 5, be home by 5 p.m. So I know that's kind of where it starts to change. But I would say the prospecting is the most important part, having that dedicated time daily. We like it in the morning. So now as a team, we all get on to like a Zoom call. We have their mic, our cameras on so we know we're there, but mics are muted while you're making all your calls and stuff. And then just dedicated time, like once a month, to go over your financials, to where you sit down and have like 2 hours going over your financials. Things like that's what we do for our daily and monthly tracking.
I love the piece you just talked about, the run rest, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Folks, that is crucial. If you've ever been a runner, I was a runner for a long time, and we would do the run walk, and I thought it was kind of silly at first, and I was like, wow, I can cover more ground. I feel better at the end of this. And the same thing when you're doing your daily routine, your prospecting. The burnout is real. If you're going to grind and work 60, 70 hours a week, which I'm not telling you to do that, but you're going to have to do something like that to get the rocket ship off the pad. Take some time off. Cut it off at 5 o'clock. Take a weekend off. You've got to recharge your batteries in order to stay on track and hit those goals. And so Thank you so much for letting us say that. That was great. All right, next, let's see. Quan, as an ICON agent, do you follow a daily routine, and do you stay on track? To stay on track, do you follow a daily routine to stay on track?
Hi. So I feel like I might be different from other agents here. I am pretty spontaneous, so I try the routine route, and it does not work for me. And especially having a toddler and a newborn, it's very hard for me to follow a routine. But I feel like as long as you have your calling, your following, your prospecting done, and as long as you have that within your daily schedule, then that's like the most important thing, because I mean, it can be from 10 to 12, or it could be from 1 to 2, as long as you get that done. Then and if you're not a structure or routine person, I think it's totally okay, because I got to where I am by not following a routine. So, and it's just harder for me again, because I'm a mom with 2 little ones. So yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure everybody here's got a little one somewhere. It's difficult, definitely in the beginning when they're pretty young. But yeah, staying on track. And what Quan said, one of the things you said, you may not do it at a certain time. If you have it on your calendar and you take it off, you can't do it from 10 to 12. You may need to go back and do it from 2 to 4. You got to find time to do the activities every day. So you have to be whatever you erase, you have to replace. And even if you're not super structured, you can still have a phenomenal day every day, as long as you're doing, you're focusing on things that matter the most. So thanks, Quan. Appreciate that. Dylan, as an ICON agent, do you follow a daily routine to stay on track?
Yeah, so I'm an early morning guy. I'm up at somewhere between 3:30 and 5. My goal is 4:30, but I don't need an alarm clock, because usually I don't have to be anywhere that early. And then that's my genius hour, because I'm ADD like the rest of everybody else. And once I get on the phone with my buddies and have too much coffee, we'll be talking about building businesses and doing crazy things, and I won't be doing the important things like going through my CRM, seeing who I'm supposed to say hi to and have those coffees with in my SOI, or, taking care of, if my admin doesn't have something done, or I just, might have to go into SkySlope or something crazy like that. And for me, during working hours, kind of growing up as a salesperson and going through lots of sales training, not just for real estate, but for every type of sales, when we're in our working hours, I try not to do anything that isn't moving towards either getting a client or locking something up. I don't want to do any admin work during that time. So if we all have some type of admin work to do, most of us who are listening and watching today. So I try to handle that in the morning when I have the most focus, because as soon as fires start, kind of the volcano erupts, you got to put those fires out. And that just ends up happening every day. And again, I've been a dad for 10 years now, but it's different, because before I was a dad, if somebody called me and said, hey, let's get a beer or whatever and talk biz, I could go out every single night, and not out, but out to talk business. So your SOI, the way that you see your SOI changes now, right? And I think if you don't, I preach this to everybody who is in my downline, everybody I do business with, like getting up early to me is super important. And it's not for everyone. But I get more done, now I sound like an old guy, but I get more done way before 8 o'clock than most other people. And I'm usually doing some type of exercise by 6:30 or 7, so I can hit the ground running as early as possible.
That's awesome, Dylan. Yes, you're speaking my language. Early to bed, early to rise sounds silly, but there is a big, powerful component to the business cycle by getting up early in the morning. And you've broken the world record. I've never heard anybody getting up at 3:30. That's incredible. I'm good to get up at 5, maybe 5:30, but I'm going to get up a little earlier now. You got me motivated, Dylan. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Garrett, same question for you. As an ICON agent, do you follow a daily routine to stay on track?
I wouldn't say I follow a daily routine per se, but there are things in my week that I do consistently and regularly, and some of them are daily. One of the things I do daily is I refresh and check our local market stats. So on our system, you can see the 24-hour activity in your market, new listings, price changes, pending, and solds. So every morning I'll check those just so I can have my finger on the pulse in terms of, what's moving, how much is it moving for, how close to list price are they closing, days on market. Also helps me stay in the know for my clients, both buyers and sellers, because everybody wants to be a market expert and they get information from all types of sources. But every day I know what's going on in the market at a local level so that I can show up as an expert and give them the information so they can make informed decisions. The second piece of kind of my daily routine is follow-ups and checking in with people. And it doesn't matter if we've been working with them for weeks, days, months, but staying consistent in those follow-ups. It's come up before in this conversation. It's not every day you're reaching out to the same people, but every day you do need to be doing some touch points and just getting back in their face and checking in, ask them how they're doing. So those would be the two kind of daily activities that are pretty consistent. I think the reality about this industry is there is no routine to real estate. You can get a phone call, an email that totally spins your day a different direction from what you maybe had planned out. So for me, I've kind of thrown out the idea of having a plan because I'll make plans and then they won't actually happen. And then I deal with disappointment and some personal issues around that and not being able to deliver on my plan. So I've kind of thrown it out the window a little bit in this industry just because we're at the mercy of our clients and they can dictate what our day looks like. So the routine is tough to follow. I'm just going to be completely honest. And I find sometimes, especially newer agents, we get frustrated when we try to create that routine and then it does get blown up by phone calls or emails to go show a house or meet for this or whatever. So the two things are stay on top of market stats and daily contact with your sphere.
Awesome. Thanks, Garrett, for that. And I appreciate your input there. Market stats, that's key. Hey, know your numbers, everybody. If you're not paying attention to numbers, you're gonna be wanting and wishing you did when you get to that appointment and a seller or a buyer knows more than you do. So I appreciate that. So I want to talk about my schedule a little bit, and I really appreciate what everybody said. And I'm the same way. Dylan and I seem to be getting up pretty early. I like that, Dylan. I get up as early as I can, 5 o'clock, 5:30, sometimes 6. But that morning time is critical. That's when I'm the clearest. ADD like everybody else. I can really focus after a cup of coffee, get up, and I can really focus on knocking out some big rocks or just getting my mind centered on what I got going on that day. What appointments do I have? Am I ready? Who do I need to talk to? Going through the CRM, just like everybody here is saying, and who do I need to stay in touch with? That's key. If whether it's a lead that's doing something tomorrow or 6 months out, you need to stay in touch consistently so they are thinking of you all the time and won't go anywhere else. So thank you for everybody. And by the way, all you out there watching us today, I did a class a couple years ago, and it's in the ICONversations about the life of the daily life of a successful agent. And it's a recorded class where you can see my schedule. And if you look on my calendar, it's almost the same. I do the same things almost every day. It's kind of boring with a little bit of things changing here and there depending on what's going on. But doing the same thing every day, all the time is really the best way to do it. So thanks everybody for that. Let's go to the next question. Mentorship. So we've heard about this. We talked about this quite a bit. And this may be the last question. We're getting to the top of the hour here. So we'll go. Mentorship's a huge in developing our business. Do you mentor other agents, either in your organization or outside of it? So Jeff, start with you, sir. Mentorship's is huge in developing our business. Do you mentor other agents, either in your organization or outside of it?
Yeah, so I mentor with which when you're a team leader, your new agents don't have to go through the mentor program. They expect the team leaders to do it. Meeting fast cap and playbook, and so I'm going to be a part of that as well. But I do personally mentor all of my agents, and then I use Chevron Coaching. They have a weekly coaching program as well as like one-on-one, and so my whole team gets to be part of their weekly program, and so I mentor the agents through weekly one-on-ones, weekly team trainings. I provide my coaching from Chevron to them, and then I just try to throw them into as much. Like, we have 9 of our agents registered for FastCap to start this next time, so it's crucial to have accountability and training of some kind. Like, no matter what level agent you are or think how good you are, you need mentoring.
Thank you, Jeff. And folks, y'all are looking at the stage full of top producers, and everybody on this call has some sort of mentor or coach in their life. So everybody needs a mentor. Everybody needs a coach. Thanks, Jeff. Quan, how about you? Mentorship's huge. Do you mentor other agents, either in your organization or outside of it?
I would say that I definitely mentor agents in my downline. I don't have a team or anything, so I would, I'm very open to sharing my knowledge, and I also have new agents that are not within EXP, that are friends or sphere, that do reach out to me from time to time, and I guess I would just hop on a call with them and answer any questions that might have. I don't think I'm at a spot to mentor other people, but when the opportunities do come up, again, I'm an open book, so I do like to share how I got to where I am today. But that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you for that. So how about you, Dylan? Mentorship, do you mentor other agents either in your organization or outside of it?
Yeah, both. So I have like 31 people in my organization, and we're like a loose team, so we're not an actual formed team. I do more deal coaching with them, so I don't want to teach people how to talk to their SOI necessarily if they're already agents, but it's more how to get some things done or across the finish line. And I've been involved in coaching as a coach or receiving coaching since the very, very beginning. Again, coming from the investor world, it's a little different than the agent world. And I've spent hundreds of thousands on coaching and masterminds and those kind of things. And that's really where my biggest deals have come from and my biggest opportunities. But again, like for me, like I love giving back. So I get my energy from helping other people and seeing them succeed. And I'd probably make a lot more money if I charged a bunch of money for coaching, but I'm super duper happy when I see someone get a deal closed and they didn't think that they could, or they just have success and they weren't ready for it. Because to me, that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. So mentoring, coaching, super important.
I agree, Dylan. Helping others, you help others up, and you're going to, rising tide raises all ships. So thanks for that, bud. Garrett, how about you? Do you mentor other agents either in your organization or outside of it?
Absolutely. As it's been said, mentorship is key. I wouldn't be where I am without mentorship from leaders who had been in the game for decades. I believe in mentorship. I believe in the power of mentorship. So we've got local agents that we meet with weekly, face to face. Other EXP agents, there's about 15 of us that sit around the table, and we all learn and grow together. And then we also do some hands-on mentorship and learning. And then obviously being available throughout the week, phone, text, whatever it might be. But I'm a big believer in the power of mentorship. We all need to have mentors, and I believe we all need to be mentors. And one of the lines that we use, my wife and I, are in business is, we give to others so that we can grow not only them, but also ourselves. I think there's some real power when we give of ourselves and mentor and teach, kind of like Dylan just shared. You learn and you see and get to kind of share in the excitement of getting things across the finish line. So mentorship is huge, and I think of myself as a sponge, always asking questions. Don't ever think you're done learning and growing. It's an ever evolving game every day.
Yes, I'll second that, Garrett. You're exactly right. That's mentoring somebody is, actually one of the best things you can do. And what the path to mastery, the final path to mastery is teaching, right? So you want to make sure that you're sharing what you know with other people. And like I was saying earlier, you never know what somebody's going through or what they may need. And that nugget you give them could be the pivotal moment in their business where it changed for the better. And I feel the same way as everybody here, like Dylan and everybody here. I paid for tons of $100,000 plus of hundreds of grand in coaching, events, all kinds of different learning opportunities. And to be able to give back, I feel is a blessing and an honor to be able to share what I have inside my head with folks out there that need it. And ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at a panel full of people. Everybody here could help you with anything in your business. All you got to do is plug in, and all you got to do is ask. So thank you, everybody, for coming today. I want to thank all the panelists, Jeff, Quan, Dylan, and Garrett. Thank you so much for your time. I know that your time is valuable. Your schedules are full. And to take the time to do this is an honor and blessing to do this with you, guys and gals. So thank you so much. And everybody out there, please find a mentor, find a coach, dig in, plug into all of the things that EXP has to offer. Spend some time at EXP University and look at all these classes that are taught by top producing icon agents. And there's everything is there at your fingertips. So engage, plug in, and execute. My name is Mike Price from Atlanta, Georgia, signing off. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. And we look forward to doing it again in the future. Mike. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
I want to thank you all for joining us for ICONversations. You guys are great. All of you in the audience, if you are in an active ICON benefit year and you're here and you're watching the show, you get a couple of points. Yay! All right, we are here every Friday. We will see you back next week. Mike